I'm going to start this by saying the same thing I did after the game against Colorado. There was at no point in this game in which Northern Iowa was in any way a threat to win the game, ever. It's pretty clear. Nebraska's first drive was probably about as clean and flawless as you can get. They looked smooth. They looked crisp, that word again. I mean, they looked really good. And then they went down the field. And then, Northern Iowa went on their 10-hour drive. And I'm sure that upset a lot of people. But again, never in a position to win this game. Or we were never in a position to lose, whichever way you want to look at it. And I think that counts a lot for something because it ended up 34-3. Nebraska's 3-0. We're halfway to a bowl game. I'm sure there was a lot of you at the beginning of this season that said to yourselves, if we just make a bowl game, I'll feel good about the season. Well, bullshit. You know that your expectations after watching this team in the first 3 games are a hell of a lot higher than that. So you're probably a little bit frustrated or upset with the second half. And I guess I don't blame you for that. But again, we gave up 3 points. Let me go through some of this stuff. I made some notes. I don't know what the spread is, so I imagine if you're a gambler, maybe you were upset, maybe we made the spread, I don't know. We played a ton of guys, okay? We had 8 different rushers. We had 10 different guys that caught a pass. Carter Nelson ended up with the leading receptor with 4 receptions for 48 yards and a really nice touchdown, his first touchdown of his career. Dante Daldell led all rushers with 6 carries. That's how much we're spreading the ball around. 55 yards, 9.2 average. Emmett Johnson looked really good when he got his chance. Only 4 carries for 50 yards for a 12.5 average. So, a lot of guys playing. Nebraska finished with 423 yards, 281 passing, 142 rushing. I'm sure for a lot of you that isn't enough. They did look a little flat sometimes, but again, 3 points. We gave up 3 points. And if our offense can score 28 points in a game this season, we're going to win 9 or 10 games because we've seen that our defense can pretty much shut everybody down, which they did. Did we give up some yards? Yeah, we gave up 301 total yards. We gave up 139 rushing yards. I bet you thought it was more, didn't you? Come on, leave a comment. Don't lie to me. We gave up 162 yards passing. I think something like 25 guys generated defensive statistics. I'm so excited. 25. So I imagine we played around 100 players. Special teams, Tristan Alvano made his field goals. They looked pretty clean. The snapping didn't look as terrible as it did. So, maybe that's cleaned up going into Big Ten play. We had the one roughing the punter call that extended the drive. I'm not sure about the roughing call, but the rule does say if you hit a kicker with his kicking leg up, that's going to be a roughing call. They just usually don't call it. I'm going to comment on the officials toward the end of this. What else? I imagine that I got some comments on Twitter. I got some comments in the game thread on Coordination that somebody even said that we were outcoached and outplayed in the second half. And I have to conclude these people are trolls because I know we looked a little flat at times, but if you think this is the same thing we're going to do all season, don't stop worrying about it. Stop being the hand wringer. Oh, we're going to lose in the Big Ten. It's going to be tougher games because put it this way. Defense, what did we blitz? Maybe 3 or 4 times? Do you think we're going to do that all season? Just not blitz for all of the games? I don't think so. And running, when they put Heinrich Harburg and Dylan Raiola in the field at the same time, are they going to do that in a lot of games? Yeah, I don't know. We're going to wait and see. Is Dylan going to get the option to carry the ball when he could have scored, but he kind of slipped and fell down? I don't know. But I'm guessing that if we're on a crunch time with games that we need to win, that we're probably not going to see those plays. We're going to see plays. We ran a lot of plays, I think, that were, number one, kind of vanilla, but number 2, to see how guys are going to react when they're in a game. And I'm not that worried about it. We knew going into the season that our defense was probably going to be pretty good. And they are. Again, 3 points. I'm going to say that over and over. 3 points. To give up 3 points, that's what counts. It's not how many yards you give up. Time of possession, who cares? 3 points. I'm getting excited and running out of breath. Our offense, on the other hand, my God, Dylan Raiola looks like a masterful genius who's been playing this game for like 30 years when he's in the pocket. He knows how to step up. Shittier Sanders doesn't ever throw the ball away. Dylan Raiola looks like he never loses his cool at any point, no matter what pressure he's under, no matter what's going on. I think he does have to work on his deep balls a little bit better. He threw that one to Jalen Lloyd that was ruled an interception. Could have been ruled simultaneous possession, but, didn't go our way. Stuff happens like that. Lloyd needs to fight for that ball, I think, a little bit harder. I probably wouldn't put that on Dylan, but, it doesn't really matter. Second half, first half was pretty clean. I don't want to say flawless because they'll get in trouble with that, and I just did say flawless, but I'd say it's probably about as clean a football as you can see a team play with a first-year quarterback. Second half was, again, a little boring, a little flat, but again, we played tons and tons of guys. What else do I have here? What else can I go through for you? These are just my initial reactions. Dylan Raiola finished 17 of 23, 247 yards, 2 touchdowns, the interception I just discussed, a completion rate of 74%, which is unbelievable for a first-year. Well, it's unbelievable for a lot of quarterbacks, pretty much all of them. Quarterback rating 184.1. Heinrich Haarberg got in, went 3 for 3 for 34 yards. Quarterback rating 195.2. It was nice to see him to get to play. It's kind of interesting to see how they used him on the field. Did I mention Carter Nelson was the top receiver? I think I did in this take. His first reception, his first touchdown of his career. If you got complaints about this game, I have to believe because now you have expectations. If you're wringing your hands and doing that woo stuff, I got to believe you're really thinking, well, we're going to be really good or we're going to be let down. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'd like to know where your anxiety is. Because, I'm here to provide therapy. That's what these videos are about. If you were worried about this, Friday night, we're going to play Illinois. I think it's going to be, I think when Nebraska will win just because our defense can shut them down. I'm not that worried about it. This is a Friday night, 400 consecutive sellout. We'll discuss that through the week. Other teams, though, looking at other teams, Indiana that we play in a few weeks, beat the holy hell out of UCLA 42-13, and Indiana looks really good. And Indiana will probably be ranked tomorrow. You're going to live in a world where Indiana football is ranked, and that's going to be hard to explain to your kids. Colorado beat up Colorado State because Colorado State is really not very good at all. And Colorado only gave up 9 points, so maybe their defense is better than everybody thinks. What else? Wisconsin got throttled by Alabama. Tyler Van Dyke, their starting quarterback, went out. I don't think that Luke Fickell is particularly a good fit there. They're really struggling. They got physically beat up. So, that's another opponent we're going to have to play. And people are always like, oh, Wisconsin, they're pretty tough. I don't know about that. What else happened? Right now, Georgia is leading Kentucky, and it looks like they're going to probably win. I want to say this about the officiating. I don't think it's necessarily bad or good, but I can tell you this. The attitude of the officials used to be that they didn't throw flags because they didn't want to be part of the game, and the best part is they really didn't interfere with the game. Well, now they interfere with the game all over the place, not just Nebraska, northern Iowa, but this seems to be happening everywhere. And it disrupts game flow. It seems like every review becomes some like Zapruder film. We're looking for the guy on the grassy knoll kind of stuff that takes minutes and really just it makes for boring entertainment. It makes for boring football because the reviews are taking way too long and they're throwing, I think, too many flags. They could let some of this stuff go and we could all bitch about it later. But instead, they're just disrupting games everywhere. And it's really frustrating. I'd like to know what you think about that too. Anyway, I mean, if you're feeling bad about this game, that's because you have expectations. I'm reiterating now, so I'm going to finish. We're 3-0. We're halfway to a bowl game. For a lot of you, that was your goal, right? Right? Are you thinking higher now? You're thinking that maybe we could be in the Big Ten championship? In a really good bowl? Make the college football playoff? Where you at? Let me know. Thank you for listening. John Johnston, Coordination. Wow, 3-0, looking really good. People are talking about us. I am hoping that we are good enough they hate us in another year, because you know they will. Thank you. Take care, and thanks for the support. Good night.